You are listening to Directions from a Spiritual Tour Guide podcast. I am your host, Shanel Scott. I'm a psychic medium and energy healer who has been supporting those on a spiritual journey for over a decade. I'm your tour guide into the world of the unknown, showing you that the magic of the universe is at your fingertips. I believe spirituality is simple and fun, and this podcast will make it easily accessible, giving you the real talk on all things divine and spiritual, helping you to step into the flow, manifesting your dreams because we all deserve to be living our best life. Are you ready for an adventure? Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to a new episode of Directions from a Spiritual Tour Guide podcast. My name is Shanel Scott. I am your host and your spiritual tour guide on this incredible journey we call life. And this week, we're diving into healing. Yes. This has come up a lot lately, and I think it's really pertinent to the energies that we've been going through in this massive energetic shift that has been happening as we step into this beautiful new energy. This planetary shift that happened back on November 19th, moving us into truly the age of Aquarius. And it's been a lot, and I've been getting a lot of messages about, blocks and feeling stuck and healing and even my own stuff. I was sick for 2 weeks. I was definitely purging something good, something that I had been working on releasing for a long time. And I thought, let's talk about it. Let's actually talk about it. There is this piece that we are not able to truly heal until we are actually willing to give up the thing that made us sick. And when we often think about that, we're thinking of physical things that make us sick. Smoking, drinking, bad behavior, whatever it is, drugs. But I'm talking more about the spiritual things, the mental, emotional things, the things that are reflective. I am somebody that I manifest things physically really quickly. If I'm not paying attention to my stress, to my energy, I will get sick really quick. It's just the facts of life, and I'm used to it. I also have gotten better over the years about acknowledging when my body is starting to talk to me and being able to do something about it rather than waiting until I get sick. Although, yes, I was just sick for 2 weeks. And I know that it had a lot to do with what I was releasing and letting go. And it's powerful to be able to talk about these things. We don't often talk about our struggles enough. And often when people do, it's in a manner that is whining and complaining about our struggles instead of actually talking about the struggle and what it takes to shift it and move it. You can complain every day of the week that you are unhappy, that you are you're stuck and so on and so forth, but what are you doing about it? And I am a huge advocate of mental health. Please do not get me wrong. I am a huge advocate of getting a therapist. It is the greatest gift you can give yourself. Mental health is enormous, but there are choices that we make. If you choose to wake up every morning and go, ugh, God, what is today going to bring? Then that is the energy you bring into your day. I can't imagine what that energy brings into your day. It can't be good. It can't be good. So these are the things that we're talking about. Are you actually willing to choose something different? Can you wake up and just be on the neutral? I'm not even asking you to go to positive. I'm simply saying, can you go to neutral? Can you just wake up and be like, here I am, here and now, and be? Don't complain. Don't dread what's coming, but just be like, today is a new day. And I'm going to start a new day in a new way. It might seem like the smallest of things, but it can have the biggest of impacts. If I wake up and my mind starts spiraling, And it did this morning. Being sick for 2 weeks, my to-do list this week is insane. I already have a lot going on this week. And then I have a lot of things that I haven't done over the last 2 weeks that I need to get caught up on. But I just was like, nope, this is not how I'm starting my day. I released. I got up because laying there was not going to be helpful. I got up and I made a tea and I started my day. Because getting up a half an hour early to just start my day was enough that it shifted my energy. And now I feel like I'm being productive and getting my day going, and I'm doing the things that are needed and taking them off my checklist. And I'm being mindful of the things that are a priority so that I feel good about what I accomplished today. Simple shifts are really important. That is the starting point of this piece of releasing the pieces that are making us sick. Ask yourself, what are the things that you ruminate about? What are the things that you spin in your mind? Are you someone that tends to worry and stress or focuses on the problem? I challenge you to shift your energy to the solution, because the solution, which we don't even need to know what it is focusing on your energy on the thing that you want to get to instead of the place where you are stuck. Now, I have to say this goes so much deeper than this. We have to have a willingness to actually see where the problem is to be able to actually shift it. And this comes in layers, and people don't expect that. It's funny how I get this all the time. Oh, well, I've worked on this and I thought I conquered it and I did it. And I totally admit I've been there and done that and complained about it. But it is this awareness that it is onion layers. Think of an onion and how it has different layers. It's the same thing. We're peeling back a layer, peeling back a layer, peeling back a layer. Every time we work on it, it gets a little bit deeper. It gets a little bit bigger. So we do have to take it layer by layer. That's what I know this cold thing was for me. There was an acknowledgement of something that I was working on, and I knew that it was connected to my left lung. And when somebody graciously tapped into it in a practice session for medical intuition, I had a deeper awareness of what it was. And I kind of had an idea, but I was kind of stuck, and I was like, okay, somebody help me. And when they said it, I was like, ugh. Because it's stuff I've been working on. It's a lot of things I've been working on. But that acknowledgement allowed me to go deeper. And I didn't go, F this, I'm not dealing with it. I said, okay, it's coming up again. Why? How? What do I need to do? And I was able to go into it. I know my superpower when I do this kind of work for people is I am really good about getting to the root cause of the problem. Sometimes that takes a few to get deep into it. But when we uncover a layer and we get to the root of what's going on, it allows us to open up and create space for the next layer to go deeper. But we have to be willing to look at it. And it is not necessarily comfortable. Changing our mindset is not necessarily easy, but it's worth it in the end. We get caught up in the pain that is happening in the moment and go, I don't want to do this. Instead of going, this pain is temporary, and what is on the other side of it is so powerful. But when we ignore, the pain doesn't go away. It just keeps poking us. It's like having, what's that saying about the dog that sits on the nail and it doesn't want to get up, even though it hurts, because it's going to hurt more to get up? It's the same thing. Why are you sitting on the nail when you could just remove it? Yeah, the pain is temporary. The pain is temporary. There are so many things in my life that I have said, I'm ripping off the Band-Aid. I'm taking that leap of faith. I'm just going to fly. And that temporary pain was so temporary that I was like, what was I afraid of? And when I see the shifts that I've made in my life and how powerful they are, again, I go back to this place of why did I drag my feet so long? I spent 40 plus years dragging my feet, afraid. But when I started to acknowledge the things that were making me sick, the fears that were coming up, the belief systems that no longer served me, when I was able to face them head on, I started to uncover the magic that has set me free. And you can do the same thing. But you have to choose that this is the path you want to take. And until you decide that you are giving up those things that made you sick, it stays the same. Yeah, we can shift it a little. But to truly move the needle, we have to make bigger decisions. We have to make deeper commitments to ourselves. And let's be honest, the universe helps us along the way. If we aren't living in alignment, if we are not living our purpose, the universe will shove you. It will gently give you messages until you stop, it realizes you're not listening completely and you are ready to step into things whether you like it or not. And then the universe pushes and says, jump. You don't have a choice. And do you really want to get to that point? I'm grateful for those. I am. I'm grateful. But I wish that I had been able to see those things and could have done it gracefully instead. And I feel like I have been moving in a place that has allowed me more grace to see those things. I'm sure I don't always. But I'm also grateful for my support system that helps me to see those things. Because support is super important. People that will call you out on your crap. That will tell it like it is because they love you. Those people are really important in our lives. Super important. I'm so grateful for mine. And I'm always happy to be that person for my clients because I don't sugarcoat it. Sorry, folks. If you've worked with me, you know. If you work with me, it's because you are ready to make those big changes, and I will ask you to make them because I've made them. And I don't ask you to do anything that I haven't done myself or I'm not willing to do. Through the changes, through the acknowledgement, through the awareness, that is where we actually shift. That is where we actually heal the wounds. Putting a Band-Aid on it is not a fix. Ripping it back open constantly, not a fix. Start to acknowledge the pain instead of just avoiding it because it's too difficult to deal with. I have set my intention years ago to work with people that are willing to do the work. And that personal shift, that personal boundary has created the most incredible clients. And I'm always so grateful for the people on the other side of the screen that are willing to do the hard things in life. And being honored to witness the changes that they make. To see them move from this place of feeling stuck and small to these places of expansion and growth and true healing. But I will say it 1,000,000 times over. It is your choice. Are you willing to make the choice to give up the things that made you sick? It is your choice to wallow in the crap, to focus on the problem and continue to create more grossness in your life. Or will you choose to focus on the solution, on the positives? Can you be optimistic about what life holds? It is your choice. It is always your choice. no matter how dark it gets. And I've been in some really dark places. It is your choice. Actually, the most powerful choice I've ever made was the choice to live. And I will share this story because it is one that I didn't realize in the moment how powerful the decision I was making was. I almost died after having my second baby. 6 weeks postpartum, I ended up with a strep infection in my bloodstream that created a clot in my ovarian artery. I ended up with a severe case of pneumonia, and I went septic fast. And I'm here to talk about it, which I know is a blessing because I know sepsis takes a lot of people. I am sure that the prayers that went out for me in that moment were very powerful, and I'm so grateful as I even get. I didn't realize how sick I was, but the people around me did. And I have no idea this woman's name, but she was my nurse in the ICU. And I was hooked up to so many machines, and I was passing out. I was hallucinating. I was so sick, so sick. And she said to me, "You have to make the choice to live." And then she asked me what she could do to help. And I said to her, "I have the worst taste in my mouth. And it's so awful." And she said, "Can I give you a piece of gum?" I said, "Yes." And it was that moment that I chose to live. It was in that moment that a perfect stranger, who again, I couldn't even tell you her name, I was so sick, but I know she was there for 2 or 3 days in a row with me. It was her that helped me. It was through that moment where she told me I had to choose. And I chose to live. She put that package of gum on my stand and explained that the antibiotics that I was on was causing that nasty taste in my mouth. And that was the moment I decided to live. And that's the moment that my health changed. I needed someone to hold out their hand and say, "I've got you." And I know it's her job, but she did it in a way that made a huge difference for me. She didn't just take care of me. She helped me. And she probably saved my life. And I know this because a dear friend of mine who's a doctor, when I reached out to him for support, and he said, "Excuse me, where are you?" And he was doing a residency in Toronto at Sick Kids Hospital, and he said, "I will be into my superior tomorrow and tell them that I have a family emergency, and I will be in your hospital room tomorrow night." And he said to my mom, "The things that they were telling you were the things that we tell patients' families. And we don't know if they're going to live or not." Who knew? Telling this story would make me so emotional, so thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for holding space for me to share with you how powerful that moment was. We always have the choice. And I am grateful that someone pointed out to me that that choice is mine. And so I hope that you can take from this story, this real story, how powerful choice is. And I'm going to leave you there, in this place of power, in this place of understanding that the choices that you make affect your life. And the choices that you make can create the deepest power you have ever seen. So choose. Choose power. Choose life. Choose joy. Choose happiness. Choose connection. Choose soulfulness. Choose love. It is a gift to be here. So choose to experience the gift on this journey we call life. Thank you. Thank you for letting me share and letting me cry. I really didn't expect to get that emotional sharing that story. It's a powerful one in my life. I think it was the day my life changed forever. Understanding how close I was to leaving this world. This 6-week-old baby and a 4-year-old son. And I think it was the beginning that got me to here. It taught me a lot and how precious life is and how powerful choice is. So I hope that you understand and can take something from this to create choices in your own life that will take you closer to the places that you want to be, to the dreams and goals. I'm always so grateful to be able to be here and share with you. I am excited to be offering 2 events coming up for the new year. New Year's Eve, if you would like to ring it in soulfully with me, and this event is totally about choices and releasing and preparing our energy for the new year. If you would like to join me for New Year's Eve in Dundas, I am offering an event from 7 to 10 p.m. and it will be about soulful connection. It is about releasing and tossing the things you don't need into the sacred fire. It is about setting intentions. It's about healing. It is going to be a beautiful evening of just, soulful connection. I'm also doing an urban retreat on January 11th in Dundas it's about manifesting. It's about creating your fertile ground. And it's really this opportunity to make choices that are going to take you in the direction you want to go. So I wanted to share that too. That urban retreat is an afternoon and evening. It includes dinner amongst a whole bunch of other things. I love offering a manifestation retreat in just creating a sacred space for us to set our intentions and to get our mindset in the place we need to go and really set off into the new year in a powerful and incredible way. So that is coming up. You can register for both of those things through my website. And then, as always, if you can energy exchange with me for this today, I greatly appreciate it. I'm only asking for a few moments of your time. Leave a comment, a review, subscribe, comment, follow along, all the things. Join me on social media, of course. I so appreciate you for the time and energy that you share with me in return for me sharing energy with you. Thank you for being here on this spiritual journey with me and for allowing me to be your spiritual tour guide from my heart and soul to yours. Have an incredible rest of your week.